So the topic I was requested is Nibbana. So instead of explaining Nibbana, let us understand samsara. That's a better thing. So minusing samsara is Nibbana. That's an easy route rather than defining something which is undefinable, right? And then it becomes a issue. And I and Sachin have spoken over this for long about vijnana and namarupa and so many things, right? So then it makes no sense. So there are two things. One is samsarana, which is samsara, that is going around. And nissarana is cutting that. And sarana as such means that just to go. Sam is to turn. So samsarana is to turn around. So at every corner you again turn back to the same place in one way or the other. Now there is nissarana, that is ni, when you add ni is to cut. Whatever you were doing, you cut that. So if you were to turn around, you are cutting that turning around because there is no point in turning around. Now what turns around? And why do we turn around? What is this we, I, you and all that? So let's take this way. The body is sitting here. A thought catches the consciousness and it goes to California. Okay, I again repeat. The body is sitting here and Aryu or Chirag, who are from California, so they Mountain View. Let's say somewhere in my life I have seen Mountain View and they start talking about it, and then this thought, or I could call chitta, in that chitta appears this impression and it goes there, meaning it goes to California. And there is this and that. Ittha bhava. Now it's anyattha bhava. That is, otherwise has happened now. What is otherwise happening here is that this consciousness no longer is in this body. I mean, not dead. But the consciousness has taken an object and it has appeared in somewhere. Okay. So now it is in conversation with Aryu and Chirag on Mountain View.
So when you say this, it means what we started with, just the body.
Yes. Now the body is here, but the thought has taken over, and now I am talking about Mountain View, even though I'm in Bangalore, meaning I'm supposed to be not only in Bangalore, in my home and in this chair, but neither I can feel the chair, nor I can feel Bangalore, nor I can feel anything. But now I'm feeling, I'm perceiving, I'm sensing, I'm experiencing Mountain View. Isn't it true or false? So what happened now? It has created a samsarana. It is taken around, right? So it can now go to California and come back to Bangalore, and California and come back to Bangalore. So now every time I see Aryu and Chirag or anyone from California, instantaneously I can recognize that they are from US and they are from California.
Yeah, so like how far you go, California or wherever you go, at one point of time you will turn back.
You will turn back. Yes.
You will come to this.
Yes, you'll come back to this. So how do you come back to this?
So even if when we sleep, we are just this.
Yes.
Right? So it is complete resting of the consciousness.
Yes.
And then when we wake up, we start going here and there. In every moment, we come back. It is natural to come back.
You come back. So now how do you come back? You come back due to various reasons. A mosquito bites you and you come back. Or my wife and son, they start talking to me and I come back. Or Bhim Reddy, who is sitting there, and he says that, Vilas, I want to talk to you about Latur. Forget this California, I'm not able to understand what you're saying. then I come back. Or Sachin would say, why don't we talk about Anand or something, and then I come back. Or the time we have spent in Bangalore and we bring that common subject, then we come back, then we go there. So you see here, it's here or there. Okay, that's exactly what Buddha was explaining to Bahia. Neither here nor there nor in between. Who is going there? The consciousness is going there, but with the concept of I. So now let's understand what is a concept. What's the meaning of concept? We keep on using that word. Concept is to reiterate an idea or an expression or an object and give it a connotation in order to get back to that object. Okay, so you first have to create that something so that you can get back to the very thing what you have created.
Just by giving the name.
Just by giving the name.
Like, let's say when we say Bangalore,
Yes.
whatever perception of Bangalore you have, I can bring that back into you.
Yes. So let's say, just a second, Bhim Reddy. Let's say, Sachin, you have stayed in Bangalore quite a long time ago. So you can keep on reflecting on that. So when
even something which is cannot be, it's not even concrete. For example, God.
Yes.
If I say God, everyone has some idea. It is just an idea.
Exactly.
But I can invoke that idea in you by saying God.
Exactly. So now this conceptualization, okay, this very act of conceptualization is called manyana. Okay, manyana is to consider. So let's consider God is like this. So you have to create an attribute. You have to say that God is this way. God is that way. God is all knowing. God is all giving. God is all inclusive. This, that. So you keep on adding attributes to make it full, so that now you can refer to it. If you don't have that, then there's no concept. And if there is no concept, you cannot idealize it, meaning you cannot have a picturative, you create a picture. And that's the reason Buddha also says in one sutta, in the Dutiya Gaddula Sutta, he says that there are many pretty things, but what mind creates, the movie, is much better than any movies you have ever seen, because that is also created by the chitta. Now, what it really means, when I say samsara, what it really means, before I take that, let me talk to Reddy here. Raise a hand. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Acha, little earlier you mentioned about the reiteration. What it was about?
Which one?
Retreat. You mentioned about putting a stress, emphasize something. What it was about? What that idea was about?
Nothing. I was just saying that the consciousness has stayed here, but will go somewhere. And now, when we talk about Bangalore, the consciousness comes back. So it can come back. So it always turns back from wherever it is. So now, let's say we both are conversing on one topic, and these other three people are not aware of this topic. They can distract the consciousness by bringing in a topic which is common. And instantaneously, all our consciousness will appear at once. Meaning, let's take this example. Chirag and you have not come to Bangalore. Myself, Shreyas, Sachin and Aryu have been in Bangalore. We have met in the retreat. But you have the knowledge or a concept of retreat. So when I use the word retreat, you know what it is. How? How do you know it? Because you have conceptualized it. So what do you mean by conceptualization? Is to create an idea or an expression and fill it with attributes. Retreat means like this. That's called adivachana, for a patig, which is striking. So anything that strikes to you, you describe what is striking to you. So when I say retreat, there is no further explanation required on what is a retreat. So when I say that myself, Sachin, Shreyas and Aryu were in a retreat, I don't have to explain to Chirag or to you that what is a retreat. Another way, if since you and Sachin have done VRI courses, if I were to say VRI, you will instantly know it is Vipassana Research Institute, even though no explanation has been given to you. And I don't have to explain to you on the 10 days retreat or 20 days and like that, because you know it. When you say I know it, it means the conceptualization which was there has turned into a real thing. And you can go back and come back, go back and come back all the time. Now, if you were to reflect on your first retreat, you can instantaneously go. Then you can create a story out of it, saying that when I went to the retreat, this is what happened and that is what happened. I was doing this, I was sitting here. So Atita Anagata will always keep on happening. Yesterday, last week, or when 1 month ago or 2 months ago when I went to the retreat, and when I'm going to go to the retreat in future. So the present moment is missed out. So I'm either in the past or in the future. That is samsara. So you keep on going in circle. Got it? Now this samsara, when we say samsara, sam is again turning points. Sara is essence. Actually, this turning around is essence. The definition. So when I say it's a samsara, what I'm trying to say is the essencelessness is an essence. Because I keep on turning back. And the question comes, who is turning back? And from whom is he turning back? That's this consciousness which is turning back due to name and form. Now you might ask a question, what name and form? Name and form comes from conceptualization. So whatever you build up, the consciousness, for it, it's a food. So the consciousness itself will create food and it will itself eat the food. And that is the reason it is called, can be considered, not called as, can be considered that I am the enjoyer, I am the sufferer, that I am. Okay, I'm enjoying. Whatever I've created, I'm enjoying, or I'm suffering with that. Okay. Karta is to do. Bhokta is to enjoy. So on one side, I'm creating it, and on the other side, I'm enjoying it. And I don't want to either create or enjoy. But I'm creating. I'm conceptualizing every moment. There is a conceptualization. I am. I am this. I am that. I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that. This is exactly what's going to happen. So the avijja is I am. That's a concept. And that's the deepest concept, because from there everything comes out. So the first person creates a second person, and from the second person creates a third person, and then we create a grammar around it. Then from the first person perspective, this is the second person. So when I stand in front of you, this is the first person. So if I am talking, I become the first person. If you are listening, you become the second person. If you are talking, then you become the first person and I become the second person. So then we use the language to express the concept, which is not real. Because concept is a concept. So birth, decay, death is a concept. It's not something out there in real. Got the point? This is samsara in its entirety. Meaning, if you see, it's just defining something and you get scared of that definition. Because the word death shows that you will not exist. The word birth establishes that you exist. So I don't exist, I exist. So two bhavas. Ittha bhava, it's there. Anyatha bhava, otherwise. Or if you want to say satta, it is sattva. Okay, satta and the other one. There is no satta. So these are the two extreme views which is going to be circling now. Asatta, satta. So the question comes, why do we do this way? But there is no other way. So the consciousness requires food. Out of the four food, one food is the consciousness. So the consciousness has name and form as its food. So samsara is creating this name and form and associating with its consciousness, where the consciousness establishes in the name and the form. Okay. So when you see paticca samutpada is called a dependent origination, now you have to look at the condition under which the samsara gets created, and the condition under which the samsara gets eliminated, which is nissarana. So samsarana, nissarana. That means if something is created, that very thing is going to get destroyed. So if you stop creating it, what should happen? Then you are released from that very condition, which is Nibbana. But when I say I want to attain Nibbana, it means I am again creating another concept called Nibbana. Now I have to explain what is Nibbana. Now you tell me, how should I explain Nibbana? Because the more I explain Nibbana, I am conceptualizing Nibbana. Nibbana is a very peaceful state. So now it says Nibbana is peaceful. What is peaceful? Now you have to create a concept called peaceful. No, which is not chaos. Oh, okay. So like a soundless room, you mean to say? Soundproof? Yeah, almost like a soundproof. Okay, got it. What did you get? Soundproof. You didn't get Nibbana. What you got is soundproof. Now you created a concept in your mind saying that
Concept over concept.
Yeah, now it's a concept. Now soundproof came. Now what is soundproof? Devoid of sound. So you see this concept. Soundproof, you are happy. Devoid of sound, you are not happy. Why? Because you can't make any concept out of it. Shunya is like that. There's no conceptualization. Yes, Sari, go ahead.
No, I guess that's why when it said it's deathless. But if you say, oh, that means it must be eternal. And again, it's wrong.
Yes, that's correct. So, devoid of existence, not existence, devoid of existence, devoid of symbolization, devoid of conceptualization is Nibbana. Because Raga, Dvesha, Moha can only appear if there were a concept. If you tell me, if you don't have a wife as a concept, will you ever be unhappy or happy with a wife? And so, it's not the wife is a problem. It's not the husband is the problem. The attributes associated with the husband and wife is the problem. It's not the child is the problem. It's not the son or the daughter is the problem. The attributes associated with son and daughter is the problem. That's the problem. It's not son as such is a problem or a daughter as such is a problem. So, dhite mattam is just see as is. conceptualize as this is my wife. There's nothing called your wife. It's a wife. It's a concept. And don't create a separate concept, my wife. It's like if I were to use a software development program, and then I can say a class called a super class, and then I create a subclass, and I instantiate this class and bring it to life, and I said my wife extends to whatever. So that means this super class is now subclass. That means it is my class. So now it's mine. It's not Aryu's wife. It's not Chirag's wife. It is my wife. So you're talking about my wife. Yes, Aryu.
I was thinking every class extends from mine.
Yes, every class extends from mine. So the super class is mine, me. And from there everything is coming. Okay. The me itself is a concept. Okay. If me itself is a concept, so then what I should have? Eso na mama. You have to remove that concept, right? It's a concept. It's not, nothing is mine per se. So if I deregister the class, I have registered the class and I have a problem now. So I will now deregister. I'll put it in the garbage collector, gc.gc, over. Now what happens? It's removed. The variable, expression, classes, all that is removed. So there's nothing out there. So devoid of existence. It's not death. It's not rebirth. It's nothing like that. It's just devoid of existence. So the vijnana, which is consciousness, will not take a footing, meaning will not get established. Now we might ask question, where does it get established? Wherever there is food, it will get established. So if you deregister, then there is no samsara. Doesn't go around. It's going around and around and around and around. So without nama rupa, there can't be any consciousness. There can't be any consciousness without nama rupa. So it goes going in a whirlpool effect. It is one leads to the other, and hence it is dependently originated. Because this is originated, this is originated. If this is originated, this is also originated. So now you see from this direction, that is originated. If you stand here, then this is originated. So itha bhava, thisness, anyatha bhava, otherwiseness. You require these two to go around. Yes.
So Namarupa Pachaya Salayatana, right? So can you say that Namarupa creates home for consciousness to live in?
Yeah, you require 6 senses to express the Namarupa. See, when I see this socket of the eyes and the holes of the ear and nose and mouth, still the consciousness overrules that and sees the person. And that is a magician. If I see between all of us, we all have exactly the same, exactly. Like the other day I was talking to May. I was saying to her that what difference does it make? It is no different. But yet am I not feeling she is May? Meaning really I'm feeling she is May. I am really feeling it's Aryu. Really I'm feeling Sachin. So this real feeling means it has established. Now the consciousness has got established. Now no matter how much I pretend, no, it's not Aryu, it is just a body and all that. It's not California, I don't care. Who goes to America? And then a question could be asked, Vilas, are you not going to in October to get your visa? That is a separate issue. No, that's again a name and form and consciousness, right? So it doesn't mean that we shouldn't do it, but you should be aware that, or I should be aware, that it's just an established consciousness. That is, the consulate, American consulate, is an established consciousness, meaning It's got established after seeing it. After I went over there, it's just a building. It's just a set of people, right? But America came into the conscious experience. So the name and form, it got created then, at that very instant. Now I feel I'm in American consulate, right? So now I need to stand in a line and I need to say what I should say, and then it's going to give me a visa. And the visa doesn't mean that I'm in America. So then the next step, to the next step, to the next step. So it means it keeps on establishing one food after the other. And that is the reason in the Putta Mamsa Sutta, he says that consciousness is like somebody is whipping 300 spears in the morning, in the evening, and in the night, but still he's alive. Why? Because this is how, right? Now you see, every spear, it's a pain on the consciousness, but isn't it recovering and coming back? Then again somebody hits it, and then again it comes back, again hits it, again comes back, again comes back. It means it doesn't mind establishing itself moment to moment to moment to moment. Right? Now I'll say I'm an anagami. You see this one? Is it a concept? Is it real? I'll say anagami is real because we are following Buddha Dhamma. And then the question comes, if you follow some other religion, will you become an anagami? No, only in Buddha Dhamma you will have. Why? It is so tightly held as a concept. If it is possible by some other thing, then this loses its value. So in the consciousness appears the value also. It will hold something which is valuable. But in a way, what Buddha says, you drop the Dhamma also in the end. Right? He gives an example. Are you going to carry the boat on your shoulder after crossing? And if I say, yes, I love your Dhamma, it means I have taught a person who is a mad guy. Would be an answer from the Buddha. Why? Because you are holding the concept also as real now. That is, Buddha Dhamma is also part of a concept, but a better concept to come out of conceptualization. So what's the attribute then of Buddha Dhamma Sangha? That Buddha, what is Dhamma, what is Sangha is the attribute of it. That's all. It has no form. If you really see, Buddha Dhamma Sangha is formless realm. Honestly speaking, there is no form. That means the consciousness cannot get established in the form realm. So the minimum it can take you to the formless realm. Right? And then the last part, which is Sanya Vedata Nirodha. If you were not to have a concept of Buddha, like that painting, that's a painting. Nobody has seen the Buddha. Honestly speaking, this painter has not seen it, neither I have seen it. But whatever is presented to me in that shape, in whichever, however it is, and in fact I have given one to Aryu and one to Chirag also. So they also believe they have got Buddha. Supposing something strikes me, they say this is not Buddha. It can't be Buddha. So devoid of form is devoid of feeling. If devoid of feeling, I am devoid of perception. And if it is devoid of perception, then they are devoid of association. If they are devoid of association, then they are devoid of the very existence of it. And if this very existence is not there, the consciousness cannot get established. And at that very moment is Nibbana. Yes. You are on mute. You are on mute.
Could you please repeat the same thing once more?
See, the Buddha is there.
Yeah.
That, if you are seeing that picture, is that the Buddha? Now you see, I can't give you the answer. I mean, you are thinking. That means you have held it tight. You can't say no to it now.
Yeah.
But that's not the Buddha. Right? Is that the Buddha? Now that's a concept over there. What you're seeing in that frame, in that picture, is not Buddha. Can you agree to that for yourself, not for me? If yes, then the devoid of existence is going to happen, because there is devoid of feeling. You can't feel that is Buddha any longer. All this while I'm feeling Buddha is watching me.
Yeah, so answer is yes and no both.
Yeah, answer is yes and no.
It is not Buddha, but it is creating the feeling of Buddha in me.
Aha. So now what should I do? How should I release myself? So what Buddha did, in many suttas, he says what is the attribute of the Buddha. Rather than creating a concept of a Buddha, he said what is the attribute. Meaning, what's the difference between attribute and concept? Concept creates attributes. Here you directly get into the attribute. So you don't have to put something and develop an attribute to it. Like God is, so you define God. Let's say the question comes, define God. Let's say God equals Om. Okay, Om. Then Christians will say God is Amen. Islam will say something, somebody will say something, and we've created a God. So if anybody want to ask what is God, and then there is no guessing, right? Amin in Islam, Amen in Christianity, Om in Hindu religion. So if somebody were to ask what is God, it's very simple, Om. One who understands Om understood God. Wow, beautiful. Now if somebody asks, how do you understand Om? Then he says, you should understand. Ah, okay. What is Now again you have to define. Means this, U means this is this. And then you have to create a trinity, if I go by the Christianity. So you have the Holy Spirit, then you have the Father, you have the Son. So I need to have a trinity. It's again a concept. Now, how did this happen? Because the Holy Spirit is like this, and the Father is like this, and Christ is the Son, and this is how it has happened, and hence Christ has gone to the Father, and then there's a God, and God, Father, Christ, and the Pope is connected to God through Christ. So now I have connected, right? Now I have connected something. Now it looks logically clear to me. Okay. Now this concept is accepted. So if I am a true Christian, I need to agree with the Trinity. Otherwise, then there's no thing, right? So when I say I am an Orthodox Christian, what I'm trying to say is I believe in Pope to be equal to God. Because God is saying through Pope. So that makes sense to me. That means now the consciousness has got established in the Pope as God. So this Nama Rupa is now Pope. As long as Pope is saying something to me and I get to meet the Pope, what's going to happen to me? It's a enlightening moment because God himself has come to meet me. So I'm in tears. In Vatican, when I go and meet Pope, I cannot express. They say, God, I've just met God. Like when people meet Dalai Lama, it's a God incarnated. So then they see God. So everyone see their own God now, because it's a conceptualization which has materialized as an experience. That means there's a feeling. So the first thing that comes to you is a feeling. You feel it. You tremendously feel it and you perceive it. So the Nibbana is exactly the reverse of it. Neither you feel it nor you perceive it. So you got the point. So now this object here has to be replaced by the actual attributes. So if I do that, the Rupa is gone from the conscious experience. That means the consciousness does not hold to the Rupa realm. When we say realm, it's not some place. It's like the consciousness has gone there. Like I was talking about initially, I said, if we were to talk about California, my consciousness will go and get into California. That is Rupa actually. Why? Because can be seen, can be heard, can be sensed, can be cognized. All that is there. It's not jite jite mattam, sute sute mattam like that. It is, that concept can be experienced. So when I'm in California, whenever I come and you take me to the Golden Gate Bridge and you say, Vilas, or you are in Golden Gate Bridge, am I not in Golden Gate Bridge? Yes.
So when you say I understood, right? The moment you say I understood, you are gone, right?
Yes, you're gone.
When I say Bangalore and you understood, that means you are gone to Bangalore.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, there will be a lot of question of what did you say? I didn't hear you. But you cannot stay in that state of not hearing, not understanding.
Correct. Right. So you have picked up the concept. When you pick up the concept, you are in samsara. You are rotating around that now. So we keep on talking about Bangalore for the whole day now.
Even right now, we are not tense because whatever has been spoken in this meeting is understood to us.
Yes, you say is understood.
In every moment, we are catching it.
Yes, you're catching the samsara, if I could use.
Otherwise, as you said, it would have been a gibberish, right?
Yes, Harry.
No, I was just thinking, I was talking to a Christian colleague, and I was wondering about the God and the Trinity thing. He said, everyone's confused, something like that. I think they're confused because they're trying to mix and match these root formulas with the form and all these things. They're destined to be confused.
No, it's like this. When we make a concept, it comes with two attributes. Any concept, technology or non-technology. One is, what is the underlying principle of that? Why are we having this concept? What's the underlying principle? For what purpose does it serve? Okay, that's the first thing. Then the second most important thing about it, what's the logic behind it? If there is no principle, there is no logic either. So when we say, I want to define, I'm defining the principle and the logic. So let's say, I want to have an agile software development. Software itself is a concept. Development is also another concept. Agile is another concept. So you have three concepts now. You have three concepts. Now you have to define the principle behind that. Why agile? What is agility? And how important it is. Now you see, when you create a principle, it has to have a value. If it doesn't have value, then there is nothing important to it, right? So then nobody will follow it. It can be any technology also, same thing. Or AI, this, that, whatever is coming, it has to have a principle on which, that is the foundation, on which this is held in place. So the consciousness first gets established in the principle, because that will not change. Correct? Golden Gate Bridge will not change now because that's principally that bridge is called Golden Gate, right? Now, the logic of having Golden Gate Bridge, nothing. You have a river which is cutting across two land and then you build it. That's the logic. So whenever you utter the word Golden Gate, you immediately gets into that because it's based upon the principle. And the principle here is three attributes to that. What? Number one, it is changeless. It remains. So changeless in the sense it neither arises nor it passes away. It's very straightforward. And hence it is sukha. That means it gives me tremendous happiness. And it's mine. It's my concept, right? It's my creation. And everybody would say it's my creation. So now you have a creator. So you have created it. So anicca dukkha anatta is nicca sukha atta. It's mine. Now this concept that it's anicca is not agreeable because it has met the principle. So God is a principle which will never change now, right? Because God has all the attributes. He's all-knowing, all-pervading, all this, all that, all good qualities you put it on God and say, this is God. So in my definition, when I've defined it, God is everything. And I am not that thing. So now it is ittha bhava. That is ittha. It stays. This is anyatha. I want to be that, but I'm having something, a constraint. So what I should do? I should pray to the God. Right? By praying to the God, that very God will give me all his attributes to me. It's only I have created it, and how will he give it to me back? That's a problem now. But as in love, you can't use logic. As in these things, you can't use logic because it's based upon the principle. Actually should have become logical, but now what has happened, the logic is hidden under the principle itself. Because I needed security, so I have created nicca bhava. Actually, it's not going to change forever. It's stable with a dhruva, stability. And my problem was security, right? Now it is secure. I have made my secure feeling. The feeling is insecure, but I made it in a very secured manner. Now I have secured it. Yes, sir. Nothing. In the same way, insurance policy is God. It's God in another disguise. Why you require insurance? Hey, what a stupid question you're asking. You should have insurance. No, it's fine, but why should you have insurance? Again, you're asking me a wrong question. You should have insurance. Why? Because that gives you stability, security, all of that, right? So now there's no suffering. Why do I suffer? Because if the concept changes, then the suffering also changes. Suffering automatically comes because the concept is no longer tenable. See, somebody comes and says, artificial intelligence is the dirtiest thing you can do in your career. And everybody drops off artificial intelligence and that's gone. Just like the demonetization of money. Everybody had a value. And the government decides to demonetize it. It has no value now. That means the concept is gone. It's removed out of your mind. So in India, in the year 2016, when they made it demonetized, people didn't know what to do with 1,000 notes and 500 notes. They didn't know what to do with that denomination because it's valueless now. So all concepts are valueless. They have no value. So this samsara is creating a value in something which itself has no value. Asara. This doesn't have any sara, no essence. So So the Nibbana, if you start defining what is Nibbana, then you are creating a Sara out of an Asara, which is idiot on an idiot, right? So now first of all, I've created a concept, this is an idiot, and on top of that, I'm creating another concept, which is more idiotic than the first concept. So the way of doing it is that you just say, if it is with a consciousness does not establish on anything at all, then you are released. Meaning the consciousness shouldn't get established on anything. So that is the reason, how does Buddha define Nibbana? Very simple. He uses two expressions to do that. He says, Vinnyanam Anidasanam. Unestablished. Anantam Sabbatopabam. It is endless, lustrous. Then he says, 6 things associated with it. Yattha Patavi. Okay, earth. Apo. Tejo. Vayu. Conceptualization of earth, water, fire and air. It's a conceptualization. When I say conceptualization is, I have never seen how is earth. I conceptualize on earth and treat earth as mine. How? This body is mine, right? As long as me is in the body, that means this is my body. That means earth is mine, the water is mine, the fire is mine, the air is mine. Then I am tall. I am. You see here. I am tall. I am short. I am fat. I am lean. Okay, like that. Then that is yattha patavi cha apo cha tejo cha vayu na gadati. That means the consciousness doesn't establish on these 4. Yattha digancha rasancha anuthula shubha ashubham. That means you don't even conceptualize the minutest, the longest and the shortest and like that, and even shubha ashubha, auspicious, inauspicious. Then the final word of the Buddha. Yattha namancha rupancha asesam uparujjati. That means without a trace of nama and rupa, conceptualization is not there. Vinnyanasa nirodhena. That is, when the vinyana is in nirodha, nama rupa is also in nirodha. So now you cut off the whirlpool. There's no going and coming. Where the consciousness is going now? Nowhere. Where the consciousness is coming? Nowhere. At that very state, when neither there is going nor there is coming, is Nibbana. So if my mind is going to California, samsara. If the mind knows, that is the chitta, doesn't hold on to this concept, but just takes it as a convention, just as a words, California, okay. Not make it real, California, but just California, just Golden Gate, just San Jose, just, let's say, San Francisco, or just the US, and just the India, just this, just, it's all just. No real thing can be found. And just vilas, not real vilas, just vilas. Just the table, just the chair, just the house, just, that's all. Nothing more than just. Then you really experience this beautiful voidness, void of essence. Now you can't say, how does the void look? You tell me that. Yes, Hari.
No, I was thinking just as light, if it bounces on any object, it makes the object and you can see it. But the people who went to space, they said when they look into the space, they feel complete darkness and nothingness. It's like almost like looking into the space, right, so to speak.
Yes, Sachin.
I am not clear with your concept of Nibbana for some time. Right? So So like right now I am in Nibbana, the next moment I may not be in Nibbana. According to me, Nibbana is point of no return. We all believe that, but you have given this notion that, yeah, right now I mean, this is the beautiful moment, but next moment, let's go for tea, and you might get involved. Right? It's a temporary state, which is not permanent. Right now I'm in Nibbana, like sleep, right? We all in Nibbana, but when we wake up from that Nibbana state, right? So if samsara exists, the potentiality of samsara exists, then how can it be Nibbana?
Yeah, that beautiful question is answered by Sariputta in the Mahavedala Sutta. The same question. You have changed little bit, but the overall essence of that question remains the same.
Yeah, and in other words, when arhants do not return, it is a different than Nibbana.
No, it's not like that. See, Nibbana is the ultimate happiness. It is Parama Artha. Parama is ultimate, Artha is Artha, sense, essence, or good. Okay. It's nothing like something away from this or away from that. If you say, he's coming, he's going, he's doing this, he's doing that, means there's a going and coming. It's not like that. So what does an arhat do? He will not conceptualize. That's all. That's the only thing about it. Meaning he knows it just a word. In fact, Buddha says that in many suttas. He says, I am using the convention, norm, words, sentences just to make sense of it, not really into it. In fact, in the Mahanidana Sutta.
So what you are trying to say is, since I am not an arhat, it is temporary.
Yes, absolutely.
Temporarily I am in Nibbana.
Yes.
And it increases from Sotapanna till
It will mature. It will
Anagami.
yes, it will mature completely in Arhat because the Sanyojana have not gone, right? See the difference, if I could talk about my own experience. This is so many years into this, whatever I'm doing. In the recent past, the experience have been far profound because the clarity is coming. So when I say clarity is coming, means the defilements are reducing, right? It doesn't mean that something else is happening. No. The defilements were holding it. Now the defilements have reduced. So you can see it, I can see it much clearly. Okay.
Yeah, and that's why you say that even Puthujana is Nibbana when they sleep.
Exactly. Yes, Ariel.
I was just thinking about the example of being in the space, right? Previously, we live in this spaceship. Now we're drifting away, like we say, forget it. We're leaving the spaceship. Now it's getting further and further. But like when you look around, whenever you see something, the consciousness gets established in that whatever defilement there is. But if there's empty of defilement, then you have experienced Nibbana. So but the further you go away from it, the less you see it, and the less you get established in that way.
See, now it's like this. Where is the defilement? Is in the consciousness. Not in you, not in me, not in anybody. It's in the consciousness. The consciousness takes something and holds on to it. And for convention, I have to say, I am cleansing, I am doing this. If I know I am is a concept, then I am in Nibbana, right? If I think I am, really I am, then I am in samsara. Got it?
Yeah. It's just because of defilement you are.
Yes, correct. So now when I start looking at, like what I am explaining to Reddy in our Pachavekana, okay, this is the same thing. There is nothing different about it. So the Mahasatipatthana, or Satipatthana, if it is conceptualized, then I need it, right? The more I need it, the worse it gets. Why? Because I want to do it as an activity. And when I do it as an activity, it doesn't work. Because activity has a limitation. How much can you have an activity? You can't. It's just like somebody asking, why don't we play for 24 hours? Not possible.
Acha, does this mean to all the exercise we have been doing to get out of the conceit?
Yes. Conceit I am.
Because even the death and the birth is also a concept.
Yes, it is a concept. It is indeed a concept.
Yeah, it is a concept, and we can get rid of it. The fear always is scaring you, death, because I asked the same question. Even this concept here so means deeply rooted. This is what we have to uproot it, and all exercise we have been doing in order to uproot all these concepts.
Yes. So that is the reason yesterday I was telling you, Beam Reddy, that there are 8 steps. So Anugami and the Phala. Anugami and the Phala. So the 8 steps. So in each step, you will let go of some defilement. Meaning you, in the sense, the consciousness lets go of the defilements. Right? So actually speaking, there are only 3 big defilements. Raga, Dvesha, Moha.
Yes.
Right, and I can add many associated, but actually speaking, raga, color. Concept has colors. Yes or no? See, if people are working in America, are they not happy people? You tell me that. Are they not happy? They are happy. As per me. Because they're getting in dollars while I'm earning in rupees. See, if I get 10,000 Indian rupees, the value is what when compared to dollar? It's very less. Correct? If I get $10,000 and transfer to India, you know what's going to happen? I get 800,000 Indian rupees. Got it. 10,000 is 10,000 value wise. Both currencies are 10,000. 10,000 American dollar, 10,000 Indian rupees. But the magic here is when I convert, meaning when I ask or when I transfer it to my account from America, it translates to 800,000 Indian rupees. The same 10,000. I feel, wow, in 800,000 rupees, I can buy a car. In 10,000 Indian rupees, nothing can be got. So don't I feel Americans are happy beings? And the consciousness now will get established in America. Kama, tanha, the craving for sensual enjoyment. This enjoyment of getting 800,000. And if I had 800,000 and an American had an 800,000, it's millions of dollars. So I feel what I feel. I feel jealous. I envy that person who is working in America versus the person working in India, because I am not making that much amount of money. And on top of that, I'm paying tax. Americans also pay tax. But they are far better and they get the car of their choice. And for me, it is very difficult. They stay in the home of their choice and they have a very nice villa, they have gardens, they have this, they have so many things. And every product they buy is roughly $300, $200, $50, $10. But in my case, everything is in thousands of rupees. Am I not pinched? This is the moha. But yes, am I not pinched? There's a feeling and there's a perception. And why am I not in Nibbana is because of the very feeling and perception. So if I destroy the concept of America and India, then what happens? So yattha namancha rupancha asesam uparujyati. That means when it is completely taken out, the vinyana, which was now establishing itself as an America and India, is removed. So will I now experience America? No. Will I now experience India? No. I was suffering because I was experiencing India and I wanted to experience America. Now that there's no India and there's no America, it's peaceful. Etan santan. This is peaceful. Etan panitan. This is profound. Yadidam. Only when. Sabba sankhara samato. The sankhara. I prepared America, I prepared India in my mind. They both are removed. Samatha has happened. Tranquilized. So samato. Sabbupadi patinisaggo. All the assets, which is Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vinyana, the 5 aggregates. Sabbupadi patinisaggo. I've given up the attachment to Rupa, to the Vedana, to the Sanya, to Sankhara, Vinyana. Then what happens? Then tanhakhayo. The craving requires food. Then there is no food where it will crave. So if there is no America, there is nothing to crave for America, right? If Americans were all happy, then why they are so sad? Also, why they have to struggle in life? They are struggling in life, like I am. So there's no difference. Tanhakhayo. Virago. Now the dispassion comes because the concept is removed. Nirodha has happened. Cessation. It ceases to exist. So in my mind, America no longer is going to exist. As India don't exist, so the America doesn't exist. That is Nibbana. Done. This profound experience. So can I still not recognize it as Bhim Reddy and Chirag and Ariu and Sachin and Shreyas? Yes, I can. I can. But that doesn't affect. Because there's no longer conditioning. Conditioning Sankata. That is no longer there. So there's no Sankata. Then everything else on the link is gone. So the Patisamutpada is cut.
But you feel Bhim Reddy as a Bhim Reddy, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I still feel he's Bhim Reddy from the convention. At present, I have no conceptualization as I speak. Yes, Chirag. I was wondering why you are not speaking. Yeah, go ahead.
I think I'm okay. So I think it's sort of like this. Let's say you design a computer program, and you have variables. Like a variable could be like height, or this person, that person. So you use them as variables, but you know that variable is not really a person or not
exactly. Exactly. You have expressions, you have variable, you have classes, you have declaration, you have the software. But when the software is seen, you fall in love with the software, not realizing that it is the coding which is making that. See, like I am from product development like you are. So when I was with ERP product, I was owning one ERP product because they were telling me that Vilas, you need to own. So I became a owner of a ERP product, right? So now that's my product. But what is behind the product? It's the code. But don't I feel it is my product? But it's actually the code. So if something is failing, it is the code which is failing. In the same way, if something is failing in the body, it is a condition which is failing, not me. I've got nothing to do with the body. But I have taken the piece of code to be my software. I have taken the piece of this body to be me. So the suffering will increase, because anything that is said to me is either said to my thought process or to this body. And both are mine. So Chirag, if you say to me that, Vilas, why don't you have hairs? Now I have to give you a concept of why I don't have a hairs. Because even I don't know why I don't have hairs. Honestly. Because the hair is mine. How did it happen? Because this body is mine. Now what is a body? It is a 32 parts of something. Similarly, the expression, the classes, the declaration, the variables, etc. are part of that software which I have only created it. So I have made it as a samsara. There is a creation. That means I have, if I could use, it is sankhara, which is preparation. I create it through sankata. That means you create it and you condition the way it should be. So when I create a software, I condition how it should be. So there is a feature, there is a way it should be working. So I make that possible. But there are bugs. Why? Because it's not working the way I want it. So I have to fix it. So this fixing is same thing in this body and in the way we are verbalizing. So we keep on fixing. So when you tell me, Vilas, you can't speak to me like this, and then I fix it. I do a bug fixing. So next time there should not be any regression. And when there's a regression, you're going to come and say, Vilas, last time didn't I tell you shouldn't be using these words when you talk to me? Oh, sorry, Chirag. There is a regression. Now you tell me why this bug came. It's an integration issue. Now why there was an integration issue? Because the testing was not properly done. This testing is yonisa manasikara. That means you didn't thoughtfully think, or rather, yonisa manasikara is being in the right awareness. So I was not in the right frame of mind of awareness not to use certain words which will not be acceptable to you. Just supposing I am doing like that, and following the norms, which is niti, it's fine. It's ethical. And then it's moral. That means good and bad. So in the mind, I make sure this is good, this is bad. So that is morality, means dharma or dhamma or kusala. And then I break everything out, meaning I get into the topmost portion, which is Atha Anatha, essence and non-essence. I know in essence, this software program is a software program, so I don't have to fall in love with it. I know a human being is made out of this part, and then he has a mind, and that the mind is a mind anyway. Like my mind, his mind, it doesn't really matter. So I give up. Viraga. That's it. So then there's no association with the software. Like there's no association with that human being in the real sense. I still talk, I'll still do everything, but I'm not too concerned about that person's behavior. So I am in Nibbana because I am not conditioning. There's no condition. So asankhata dhatu means non-condition. Sankhata means condition. So what am I conditioning? I'm creating a situation, I'm conditioning it should work this way. Now I'm saying it doesn't matter. So I'm relieved of the pain of holding on to it. That is no upadana. So there's no bhava. That means you can't become anything now. If you can't become anything, there can't be any birth. If there's no birth, there's no death. So you come out of it. That means the consciousness will not establish itself anywhere in any realms of existence, because each realm is a conceptualization. So you're cut off the conceptualization, so there is nothing to exist. Like, somebody would ask me, Vilas, what were you in your past life? Now, where should it go? The consciousness should go and establish somewhere else, right? And what I would see? The sankharas. Nothing else. So that's the reason Buddha says that sabbe sankhara anicca iti yadapanyaya pasati atta nibbidati dukkhe eso maggo visuddhya. What it means is that this creation, this preparation or thoughtful reflection that I need this arises and passes away. You can't hold on to it. Yada panyaya pasati, one who sees it through wisdom. Yes, yada panyaya pasati, atha nibbidati dukkhe. Then dukkha is completely eliminated because it's just a concept. It's just a created one. There's no real thing out there. Eso maggo visuddhya. This route, this path is visuddhi, is purification path. It removes the defilement and you will see what really it is. There's nothing out there. So falling in love with software makes no sense. Falling in love with human being also doesn't make any sense. Because that is also created one, right? See, now the bugs are coming. I have a wife, the bugs car starts coming. I have to fix the bug, or I have to ask her to fix the bug. And she will find 100 bugs in me. So then she keeps on assigning bugs to me, and all my job is to fix the bug. So then I will say, hey, you gave me 20 bugs, I fixed it in 2 days. I gave you only 5 bugs, you're taking 20 days. So you're an inefficient one. I am efficient. Now she will give me further more bugs. She'll give me complex bugs now. Now I have given her simple bugs. She throws complex bugs and she wants in this release only. So now you do it. And after it goes to release, she will throw it. This is not the product what I looked at. And now there are another 20 bugs for you. Then you say, when will you leave me with these bugs? So now you have to invent bugs for her. So you see, and you say, look, when your parents came, you did these. These are the bugs. So I am assigning bugs back to you. So you bug in, bug out, bug in, bug out, and that whole product is buggy anyway from the beginning. Right? And when you know the product is buggy from top to down, asubha, sanya, you've seen it. It's from top to bottom, it's a deteriorating substance. That means the buggy product. Will you ever love it? And that's it. Over. So for the sake of it, you will call this as a beautiful software. Ah, what a creation. But you know internally, there's no beauty in that software. Yeah, Chirag, hope I could explain to you in our usual software development methodology.
Yes, very good. Yeah, I'm actually sometimes when I listen to the discourse, I sort of meditate. So I don't ask questions sometimes because let's say it's very calming for me to listen to the discourse. And I think when you are sort of not really in Nibbana, but when you're not suffering, then you don't have many questions.
Yeah, it's good. Nice. So let's end it. I have to jump to the usual grinding software stuff of the samsara.
Actual bugs.
Actual bugs. Yeah, we are going to talk about bugs and what to do, and all that. The whole thing is a concept, but fun, right? When you don't take it seriously, it is fun. But what else to do? How do you pass time? You tell me. In this long drawn samsara, you just enjoy, be associated, work out in such a way. So I'll say working out. I'm working out. I'm working out as a agile coach. I'm making everyone agile. Knowing very well, it's a futile exercise. Okay. So you do it and they give some money and you say, yeah, I earned it. I'm earning and I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But internally, I know that is fake. This absolutely has no essence. Absolute no essence can be found.
Because this agility always fades away. Laziness is the dominant force. So
Exactly.
you have to keep making people agile.
So now they have made me as a global leader. So I'm supposed to be working with different teams across the globe. So it's fun. As good as a promotion.
Also, many global teams on this video chat.
Yes, right. So it's fun to watch it.
Yeah, actually, when I quit my job some 10 years back, the same feeling it was. We are doing time pass here.
Yeah, it's time pass only. What else to do?
At that time, if I have been knowing this, I would have continued.
Yeah, it's fun. It's just fun. It's nothing. I don't take anything seriously at all.
now I cannot go back also.
No, it's okay. Now you are enjoying your better part of your life. You're still in your office and doing whatever you want to do. Okay, good night, gentlemen, and then good day to Shreyas and Sachin. Bye-bye.
Bye.